Well, how are we doing? I'm on the front porch. As you can see, it's been raining. I had crazy this afternoon. It was cold starting out with, and started out in the low 30s. Got to highs about 50. I think right now it's between 55 and 60-ish. It's cold. It is getting close to that time of year. I had been out in the woods marking sassafras trees. I did take the camera with me, but I didn't get to record anything because the wife went with me with the dog, and the dog causes too many issues of trying to record and do things. So probably here soon I'll go out by myself. Might take one of the kids with me. Go back out in the woods, look for more trees to mark, pick up some acorns that are laying around certain places, bring them back so I can feed the squirrels around here. I did happen to run across some puffballs. Some people call them a devil powder puff. That's what I grew up knowing them as. When they're dry on the ground, little circles on the ground. Sometimes they're kind of big, sometimes they're real big. You step on them, little puffs come, like it looks like little smoke clouds come out because it's the spores from the mushroom that you're smashing. And now, when I was younger, I didn't know they were edible, and but they are. Just like they're just a giant mushroom. And this one right here is a giant puffball. This is probably I don't know. It's pretty damn big. It's like I said, head comparison to a puffball. Here's the under part of it. This is where it grows from the ground. This one, it might be edible-ish, but it's a little squishy. Still firm to a certain degree, but it's kind of squishy. I would say it's it could be edible, but I don't want to take the chance. I'm just going to take this one, like I've taken some of the others, and I put it on the side of my yard in the more woody kind of overgrowthy kind of area. And I set them on the ground, and if they do firm up and break down, and the spores there's enough spores inside here, maybe they'll put some puffballs around that side of my yard where I can come back and, August, September, and pick some puffballs and eat them. Now I got a small one here. This one is great. This one, from the tip of my finger to the tip of my thumb, about the size of a Big Mac, about the size of a softball. This one, it does have a few little indentions here, but nothing major. Oh, man, it smells wonderful. Think of a mushroom you get from the grocery store with a little bit of like a dirt kind of woody kind of smell to it. Oh, it smells wonderful. You would slice this right here like you would a piece of Spam, put it in a skillet with some butter, fry it up, and it's wonderful. Really good. Really good. Now there's two kinds of puffballs, just like there's two kinds of morels. You got a true morel and a false morel. You got two types of these. If you slice this in half and it's solid white all the way through, you can eat it. If you slice this and there's pink inside, you cannot eat it. It's poisonous. It'll kill you. I would say it'll kill you, but it'll make you really sick as a dog. And it probably could kill you too. But if it's pink inside with white, you don't touch it. But if it's solid white, you can eat it all day long. Man, it's wonderful. I can't wait to fry this little bad boy up. But I got about 4 or 5 others. I got one over there. The thing's the size of a pumpkin. It's huge. And I have it sitting over the side yard waiting for it to decompose and break the spores loose and everything else. And the best thing about it is, say like if they don't release a spore form around the area and nothing grows, at least the bugs have something to eat. Whatever else animal could come in and munch on it, and you know, it's no harm, no foul. Now, this afternoon, before I started making this video, I went through my yard. I picked all the Carolina Reapers off my plant, picked up all the Trinidad Scorpions, all the habaneros. I picked off all the banana peppers I have on the other side of the yard, keep them separated so I don't get all hot peppers. This evening, I'm going to process the Carolina Reapers and the Trinidad Scorpions in a jar I've already started for fermenting a form of hot sauce. And some of the peppers, I'm just going to, like some of the ones I don't feel that are quite good enough to stick in there, I'm just going to stick them in the dehydrator outside on the front porch, and I'm going to dry them out so they're like basically like hard as a rock. And then grind them up in a powder and add it to some of the other stuff I have in the house to make my weapon grade chili powder. But, you know, it is what it is. No harm, no foul. Now, the banana peppers, I'm a pickle them in a brine with mainly pickling salt and some water, and kind of like you would make in chow chow or something like that, and let them sit in that really, really salty brine to get the skin kind of nice and tough like leather. And of course, I'm going to leave stems on, and then once they sit for, I don't know, maybe a day and a half, 2 days like that, maybe 3, I'm going to wash them off really good. I'm going to make up my other brine. I'm going to put them inside there. I'm going to throw some pickle crisp granules inside there, which is a type of sodium bicarbonate. And I think I said it right. I don't know, even if I didn't, it didn't matter. It's called pickle crisp regardless. And throw some granules of that inside there so that way they get nice and firm and crunchy. And I'm going to get me some banana peppers for this winter and next spring if they last that long, because I got a ton of banana peppers. And if I don't do them whole, I'll just slice them as much as I can in like a ring form and do it that way. But it is what it is. Either way, I'm going to have banana peppers. Now, I have started winterizing my raised beds. I've added some fertilizer to some of them, even though I'm putting other things in there. But I figured, you know, if nothing else, you know, at least my raised beds will be for majority of the part ready to go for next year. I am going to add a few more beds to my yard. I got to work on redoing or readjusting my layout that's over here behind me. I'm not for sure how I'm going to do it right away just yet, but that's the goal for right now. My neighbor over here has a push mower that I've been trying to get from him. We've been basically playing tag back and forth. But I'm gonna get the push mower eventually from him. He had it for a yard sale. I told him, I asked him what he wanted for it, and he said, "I'll just give it to you." And I was like, "No, I'll give you something for it. You know, you can make a little something." But he just told me he'd give it to me. Of course, catching him, it's the hard part because he works a lot. Because I'm gonna use the push mower to mow around the garden beds I have on the front part of the yard where I couldn't get the weeder to get around certain ones. And I got a bunch of crap down there I got to cut down and get ready for, I guess, for next season. So I don't have a big-ass brush pile jungle waiting on me for next year. I do got 2 more elderberry plants. I got to figure out where I'm going to put them. I don't want to keep putting everything on the side yard because before too long I'm going to have a big old cluster of plants over here that they're going to be like rubbing up against each other, and I'm trying to keep away from that. I think I might put them out here in the front part of the yard put some baskets around them, put them in the ground, so that way they're visible, so that way nobody runs into it or mows over it or steps on it or something of that nature. Just do it that way. There's a few other chores I gotta do around here. I've already started marking my area out on the side yard over here, so that way I can get at least an idea how big I want to build my smokehouse. I planned on putting one on this back side of the yard, but I don't know. I don't know. That's why I said hell with it. I just put it over here, because plus the yard over here has a slight slope to it. The yard on this side of the yard is nice and flat, which would be great for an outhouse, but if you want the smoke to come up and to do its magic, over here on the side yard where there's a slope to the yard, it'd be great, because I can put the firebox down below, run a pipe coming at an angle up into the smokehouse. That way, gravity and smoke comes up, heat goes up. So it is, it's not a no-brainer. But there's just other little small task chores I have to do around the yard still. Before it gets too cold and it's miserable outside and snowfall comes in and yada yada yada. You know the song and dance. Anybody that has a farm or gardens all the time, it's a 24/7 chore. I mean, even the winter time when there's nothing growing, like in my region, you still take things and throw them out, like scraps and stuff, out in the raised beds for them to break down over winter to, I guess, add more nutrient kind of stuff to the soil for, next year for growing season. Or you're out here trying to prune certain things, because I know whenever it gets cold enough where I can prune, I gotta do a hard prune on my apple tree, and I got a hard prune on one of my peach trees. And I gotta cut this one back enough to where when I'm mowing the yard, I'm not getting slapped in the face by branches. My elderberry, crazy it is, it's loaded with elderberries. There's blooms on the tree or the plant. I got green berries. Even though it's October, they will ripen enough to where I'll be harvesting elderberries in November off this plant, because I do it every year. It's crazy, I don't know why, but it just is. Now, you're hearing the beeping noise and everything else over here, because that's the state and highway department. They're building a great big ass roundabout. My town has gone roundabout crazy. There's roundabouts all over the place. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this intersection up here has been a lot of accidents. Lots and lots of accidents. And one of my videos about a year or two ago, I have a picture. I was I guess staying on the roof watching staff light come in and land, and that's because of the accidents we keep having up here at this intersection, because we have a lot of military transplant people that come here, and I guess they expect that we're supposed to drive like they did where they came from. And if you ever want to have your ass pucker tight enough where you can't get a needle with a jackhammer in it, drive through my town. Because people in my town drive like shit. I've been up in New York, New Jersey, Los Angeles. I've been on 6-lane interstates. You name it. Some of the world's biggest cities and worst population, attitude of people. But you come here to my town, and they look like, perfect drivers. I do not know what the problem is, but people in my town cannot drive to save their life. And that's part of the reason why I don't go anywhere half the time, because it's safer just to sit my ass at home unless I have to go out. And, it is what it is. Here soon, I'm going to get some help with my bathroom, because the person that demolished the bathroom told me that, he goes, yeah, when you get ready to do it, we'll come over here and we'll put everything back together. Well, then a couple months later it turned into, well, you need to watch some YouTube videos on how to put your bathroom back together, but I'm not going to do it. And so yeah, I kind of got kicked in the nuts and the ass and left holding the bag all at the same time. But I am going to get some help here shortly. The only thing he's going to have to do is basically he's going to come in and connect the water lines and reattach the line to the tub, because it's originally was a center drain, and he's going to have to cut it, turn it to where it becomes a right-hand drain. And that's basically the only thing he's going to do, and besides connect the water lines for the shower and bathtub and everything like that. Listen to them Jake brakes. I love Jake brakes. That looks like a drop deck. Let me see through the trees. Yep, it's a big ass drop deck. It's huge. Man, that trailer's huge. That's probably one of the longest drop decks I've seen around here. You could probably stick 2 tanks on the back of that thing. It's so big. But I've been busy with a lot of small things around here that's keeping me busy, taking my time up. That's why you haven't seen me. I did make a video for cow days, like I said, but I got off topic and I didn't know how to delete it. Well, edit it. The area that I was talking that I know I shouldn't be talking about. So instead of trying to figure out and look like a dumbass, I just basically deleted the video, and that's why there's no Cow Days video. Montez has talked about coming over here, show me how to do certain things on the computer. He's an editor slash programmer slash this and that, and he knows how to do all the stuff. I don't. I can basically make a video, connect to the computer, download it, put it on YouTube, and that's basically all I know. And it is what it is. But here soon, I'll try to enlighten you all with some new things, and maybe before it gets too cold and it's too miserable to get out and do anything. But, you know, one can only do what they can do, and I have had a few medical setbacks. Nothing really major. Just everyday kind of life things you just got to deal with. But once I get a little more established on my sugar levels and arthritis, pain management, and everything else, I'll be doing a lot more. And if I don't do a lot more, I'll be on one of those Cadillac scooters going around. I'll make sure I put a mount or something on the handlebars, my little scooters, that way I can drive around, take pictures or whatever. Get some mud tires put on it so I can go off road. I know, sounds stupid and crazy, but by God, leave a redneck to do something like that, we'll get her done. Somebody done pissed off somebody. You don't blow an air horn because you want to. But not a super long video, I know, I understand, but it is what it is. Keep your nose clean, your powder dry, everything should be okay. I'm gonna let this thing charge up some before I put it on YouTube. It might be on here this evening, it might not, who knows, who can tell. But it is what it is, and I'll see y'all again before this weekend or this weekend, one of the two. I know this weekend is supposed to be in the 70-ish mark range, so I'll charge this bad boy up and I'll take you in the woods where we go morel picking, where I've marked some trees, because I want to see if I can find some yellow root and basically dig it up, leave the dirt around the root, and bring it to my house and transplant it, which I know you can do it, and see if I can get a small patch of yellow root taken off in one of my side beds around here. And yeah, that's my goal. And plus too, I want to see if I can find some other plants to dig up to where I can dry to use them for my herbal medicinal things for this year and into next year. But until then, y'all have a great day, and I'll catch y'all again soon. Click, click, click.